Ichabod, where's the Z1-R? Where's the Z1-R? Okay, folks, we're going to give you a tour of the Z1-R as where the status is as of right now. Does that make any sense? Let's go over to the bike and we'll show you where we're at. Let me do a walk around, not say a whole lot. That way you can absorb it. I like to tag. I think I showed that already. I didn't say not say anything, just a whole lot. Okay, so thanks for watching. No, just kidding. So yeah, you know, she's nearly complete. And what I mean by nearly is, what we've done is we've completed phase 4. Phase 4 of the build, basically. The restoration, right, of this old motorcycle. Phase 5 is going to involve, if we can do it, suspension and wheels. And essentially the swing arm, we're going to try a wider swing arm, but a stock length, not a lengthened swing arm. And Maguire wheels, are they? I don't know. Let's go. I can't really get at them right now because the police bike and the VFR are in the way in the shed, but the wheels are in there. I think they're Maguires or something like that. They're really nice 5 spokes like these are, or 7 spokes, whatever they are. And they're gold right now, but the owner's going to powder coat them something. I forgot what. I guess black. So my task at this point is just to do mock-up. We're going to mock up the... I'm not going to do this on the video. I'm sorry. I can't do all this on video. It's going to take too long, and I can't be switching back, distracted by the camera to go back and forth. But we're going to be doing mock-up on the swing arm for the rear. And that mock-up is going to involve making sure we can get the swing arm to even fit. If not, I'm going to do some modifications because it's a steel swing arm. We can do most of that in the house as far as welding and stuff. And, you know, make a cutout like we did on the old aluminum swing arm. For parts of the frame that won't fit, things like that. We're going to make this fit somehow. The shocks, he says he might change from these Hagens that everybody says are upside down, but they're not. And by the way, if you're one of those people, or you just happen to wonder right now, the Hagen rep told me that they're set up this way. This particular shock in this particular application is set up this way because of the valving, to operate the valving for the dampening properly. So it has to be this way. All right, and you can tell that it's right side up because the Hagen lettering is like that. And no, they didn't make a mistake. So those shocks are supposed to be that way. If I get another comment on that, I'm probably going to go, ugh, you're kidding me, and not even respond. So, no, I'll respond, you know that. So, yeah, so this is where we're at. I don't, you know, I guess I can fire it up for you, but you've already heard it run a couple of times. But I do have it jetted, like, to optimum operating performance right now. Let me fire it up and then I'll tell you what we got as far as jetting goes, in case you're working on one of these and you want a reference. You know when people do that. Let it warm up a bit and she goes right into a sewing machine. Alright, I don't want to run it too long here because I got to do stuff. And it'll be too hot for me to do stuff. So, yeah. Owner has been running this around town. He's had it on the road for a number of days now. And he's real happy with it. Says it runs great, starts right up. The brakes work great. I had a little hiccup in the rear brake. It's a long story, but I think I got that straightened out. We may have to redo all that, you know, make changes to it depending on what we're in, you know, tire stuff we're going to put on there and disc. But anyway, that's for another time. And so he's real happy with it. And it's very comfortable, as I've said in other videos, to ride, very ergonomically stable. Doesn't shake, doesn't bounce, and just runs great. So he's real happy with it. He's getting a lot of people giving him thumbs up and talking to him about it at gas stations and things like that. So yeah, this is where we're at. So like I said, where we're going again is the wheels, both front and rear. I don't know if I mentioned the front, of course, front and rear with those. I think they're Meguiar's, and whatever swing arm we can, you know, graft in there. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make something work. But he wants a wider swing arm. It's like the boxier type, and then he can, we can, you know, try that, and he'll be happy with that with a wider wheel. Not sure about tire size yet. The width is pretty consistent. You know, we don't have a lot of wiggle room there, but the profile we might be able to change if there's a problem with any interference or something. But I'd seriously doubt you'd have interference on the up and down anyway, because there is a lot of room in there. And these shocks are 10 mil longer than the stock anyway, because we were going to be going with that aluminum swing arm over there. So that's why that was done that way. But it may actually help us out in the end with that swing arm to have those shocks. But even with the stocks, 10 mil lower is not that much. What is it, about 10 mil, about that big, about 3/8 of an inch. So, you know, it's not gonna, I don't think we're going to have any problem at all on the height side. The width side, not really sure. But, and fitting the swing arm in. So I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm not going to be doing it on a video. I'm going to start this tomorrow most likely. And so we're going to get into that. But I just at least wanted to show you where it's at. Because I know some guys have asked me, some people have asked me where it's at. And how it came out. And oh yeah, we're missing this surround. He's found one of those. He's sourcing the rest of these little parts that he wants, you know. It's easier just for him to do it. And so he's actually sourcing 2 new surround, the rubber surrounds. He said that high beam light burned out. No, it was working before. I have bulbs for that, but we're not going to change those bulbs out until we take this fairing off and have to move the instrument cluster anyway to put those new surrounds in. Then I'll change the bulbs out then. So we'll get that stuff fixed. But he's figuring out the little detail parts that he really wants. And so that's what we're doing. So I really appreciate the owner and any owner helping me with that, because, you know, it's not that I don't like doing it. It's just that I sit down at the computer with a list, and then it always changes. You know, I forget something, or I, you know, need to add something. And it's just a pain in the ass going back on there and trying to get them to add an order, or blah, blah, blah. Some place you can't add an order. You do a separate order, then they'll bundle shipping, and then they'll refund you. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So, for example, I found these badging, and he provided these, because the ones that I found said Z1000 Z1-R, and he wanted the KZ. And like I said, he's real happy with it. It runs real well. And so we are going to change the carbs. I forgot to tell you about that. He wants to put a set of CRs on here. He's going to ship them out to Rick at Old School Carbs. In fact, he called him and left him a voicemail while he was here, because I have his number. I had Rick's number, and he didn't. And so he left him a message, and he's going to be shipping them up. And we're going to probably put them on here, because he wants them. He just wants them differently. I don't know. But I kind of support that as well, because these original carbs, they're pretty beat up as far as porosity goes on the inside. They were pretty corroded before Rick even got them. So if those other carbs are better, then I'd be happy with jetting those. And speaking of jetting, this is where we're at. I ultimately have, because of the pods and stuff, I got 122.5s in the mains. And I custom do my slow jets now. And based upon the chart that I have, the Makini chart I have, my mains are at about a 30. It may be a 32, but I think more like a 30. And I know essentially from a chart how big the holes are in a small jet like that. And I have a pin gauge set that goes from like 10 thousandths all the way up to 60 thousandths, all right? And so I can stick a pin through and see where it's at, a particular jet is at right now. What am I doing this for? And then I know the differences using the jet chart for what the sizes are. Generally, these steps in jets are about 1,000ths of difference. So if you wanted to go here's a better example. You wanted to go from a 17.5 to a 20, or a 20 to a 22.5, or a 22.5 to a 25. Be about 1,000th larger. And I have a little hand jet reamer set, and I just ream them out until the appropriate size fits. I calculated out based upon where I started at, which was, I think I started with 17.5 slows. And the engine builder suggested 20s, and I ended up going to 25, and that still wasn't enough. And so I reamed out the 25s to what would have been equivalent to about 27.5. And then I did a final, I pulled them off again just, I don't know, a few days ago, and did it up to what it should be at a 30. So they're about 30s for the slows, and the mains again are 122.5s. They're actual 122.5s. I got a crap load of McKinney Jetson, Dad's old parts drawer over there. So yeah, that's where we're at as far as jetting. So that's essentially where I'm going to start with another set of carbs. You know, I'm going to put the same jets in basically. I don't know if it takes the same jets as far as size and type, but the same number. In other words, 122.5s and probably 30. So we'll try that in another set of carbs to get it running, but it runs really, really well. Smooth, takes off like a shot. It's overall real well. So that's where we're at. I'm not going to film, again, any of the work I'm going to be doing on this because it's just too difficult, and I got to concentrate on this and figure stuff out as I go. But I will show you the end result. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't know how many weeks it's going to take for me to figure this out. And then, or maybe less. I don't know. It might be pretty quick. But I will show you the end result of it. So, yeah. So I have one other thing I wanted to say to you guys. You know, I have a pretty small channel here, but I got really good viewers. And I had some viewers, not only on this project, but on numerous other projects that chimed in the comments section and said this, and the other thing, and clarified a lot of stuff on different projects, and really saved my ass on a few things because I was going down the wrong road on certain things. And this project, you know, was no different. Whether it's this one or the VFR or doing anything else, you guys are outstanding. You've really helped me out a lot. And I encourage you to keep doing that. Put comments in the comments section if you know how to build a better mousetrap on something. I definitely want to hear about it. Or if I'm doing something wrong, I don't know everything, but you do know about it, then definitely put a comment in, because again, you guys have helped me immensely. You are part of this build. I'll tell you right now, you are definitely part of this build because you helped a lot on different things. I may not have responded to every comment that you made, but I read all the comments, even though there's not a whole lot, and a lot of the comments had really good suggestions, and really certain things. I'll give you one perfect example. The viewer that commented and said, when I was having trouble with the fuel cock, fitting it in with the test tank, you know, the blue tank, he said, well, the reason why that won't fit is because that is a Z1 petcock, not a Z1-R, which is shorter. I didn't know that. That saved me a lot of time and effort and trouble, and just, it was so helpful. I don't remember the viewer's name, but if you're watching this, thanks a lot. And other viewers have chimed in similarly on different projects. And again, you're part of this build. You're part of all my stuff because you give me some really good feedback. So keep doing it. Keep watching the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, I encourage you to do that. If you are, it doesn't matter who you are, share, like, ring the bell on the channel, and you get notified when I put more stuff up on the Z1-R or whatever else I'm working on. So again, I want to thank all you guys for helping me out on this. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.